More than just a garment, it's a shield against wind and cold, a marvel of vernacular engineering. Made from the unique wool of Icelandic sheep, it's lightweight, breathable, and incredibly insulating, capable of retaining heat even when wet. Its distinctive patterns aren't merely decorative. They tell stories, connect communities, and encapsulate the resilience of a people. It's an experiment in fiber and form, a silent testament to how culture and function intertwine to create elegant and effective solutions to the daily challenge of -10 degrees Celsius. To wear a lopapeysa is to wear Iceland's own history, a constant reminder that tradition is a powerful tool. Space and coexistence are also shaped by winter's icy embrace. Icelandic homes, robust and welcoming, are fortifications against the cold. The architecture adapts, with smaller windows and thick walls to conserve heat. But the real secret lies beneath the surface: geothermal energy. The heat emanating from the volcanic earth itself is channeled to warm homes, greenhouses, and even sidewalks, transforming the landscape into a thermal oasis. The heated public pools, fed by these thermal waters, become vibrant centers of social life, where the cold is defied by laughter and conversation, proving that community flourishes even under gray skies. They are experiments in comfort and collectivity, where the warmth of the earth meets human warmth. Life in Iceland is a dance of rhythms and cycles dictated by nature. The near-constant summer sun gives way to winters of profound darkness, where the day is reduced to a few hours of twilight. This extreme alternation is not just an astronomical phenomenon. It shapes daily life, habits, and even mood. Fishing cycles, harvests in geothermal greenhouses, festivals celebrating the returning light, or the arrival of winter, everything is an adaptation to this cosmic cadence. Sleep and wakefulness, work and play, are redefined by the long nights and short days. It is an experiment in patience and celebration, where life adjusts to the breathing of the planet, finding beauty and purpose in each phase. However, not even Iceland is immune to the impacts of modernity. Globalization brings with it new technologies, new foods, and the temptation to abandon traditional practices in the name of convenience. Reliance on imported products can weaken food autonomy, while migration to urban areas threatens ancestral knowledge of life in the frozen countryside. The mass influx of tourists, while bringing economic benefits, can also dilute cultural authenticity and intimate connection with the environment. These external challenges sometimes test health and well-being, but they also reinforce the vital importance of preserving the roots, rituals, and wisdom that have allowed these people not only to survive, but to thrive in one of the most inhospitable places on earth. They are experiments in cultural resilience, where the past meets the future. And it is precisely in this clash between the old and the new, between the persistence of cold and the relentless search for warmth, that the most profound lessons emerge. The dignity of a people who not only endure, but celebrate their environment is palpable in every gesture. Wisdom lies not in fighting nature, but in dancing with it, in understanding its rhythms and shaping life accordingly. Icelanders teach us that true resilience is not the absence of hardship, but the ability to transform adversity into art, ingenuity, and community. Every woven lopapeysa, every meal shared by the flickering light of a fireplace, every dip in hot springs as the snow falls, are living experiments in how humanity can not only survive, but flourish in extreme conditions. They show us that connection to the land, to history, and above all to each other, is the most powerful warmth against any winter, be it climatic or existential. Iceland, with its 5 crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius, is not just a place of cold, but a beacon of human warmth, a testament to the fact that strength lies in adaptation and in valuing what is essential. It is a universal lesson in the inexhaustible capacity of the human spirit to find beauty and purpose where others see only challenge. It is proof that, even in the lowest temperatures, the heart of humanity can burn with an indomitable flame. They invite us to rethink our own relationship with the environment, with community, and with daily challenges. showing that the answer often lies in simplicity, tradition, and collective strength. Iceland teaches us that life, when lived with intention and respect, is the greatest of experiments, and its results are always surprising. And beyond the great lessons, Icelandic life reveals itself in gestures of intimacy, small rituals that paint an even more human picture of their resilience. Think of the daily break for cafe asterisk, a warm, comforting coffee, often accompanied by a homemade cake, that breaks the rigors of the workday, a moment of shared warmth in an environment that demands constant vigilance. Imagine the care with which each layer of clothing is chosen and donned before stepping out into the biting wind, a ritual of protection that has become as instinctive as breathing. The habit of leaving babies sleeping in strollers outside their homes, wrapped in woolen blankets, even in low temperatures, is a testament to their trust in nature and the robustness of their children, a practice that shocks foreigners, but for them is part of a healthy routine and a connection with the pure, invigorating air. There's also the simple act of lighting candles in the windows during the long months of darkness, not just to provide light, but to create a visual invitation of warmth and welcome amidst the icy vastness, a beacon of hope and intimacy for those passing by. These are the most delicate experiments, those that happen in the silence of everyday life, in the stillness of homes, and in the sharing of simple moments. They show us the profound humanity, mutual care, and celebration of life that pulse beneath the ice sheet. These are gestures that transform survival into an art of living, where every detail is an affirmation of life and connection. The way people gather in geothermal pools, not just to relax the body, but to nourish the soul with conversation and laughter, is another such ritual of intimacy. The warm water, emanating from the earth, dissolves the barriers of cold and invites sharing, reflection, and the maintenance of community bonds. It is in these small acts, almost imperceptible to those unfamiliar with the place, that the true essence of Iceland is revealed, a people who find warmth not only in geography, but in the strength of their bonds, the beauty of their traditions, and the dignity of their daily existence. They are experiments in affection, in belonging, in how love and attention can melt the thickest ice, building bridges between hearts in a landscape of constant challenge. Thus, as we contemplate Iceland and its 5 crazy experiments at minus 10 degrees Celsius, we realize that cold is not just a temperature, but an invitation to innovation, solidarity, introspection, and the celebration of life in its purest form. This land of fire and ice, where steam rises from the depths while snowflakes dance in the air, is not just a setting, but a character in an epic saga of resilience. Each inhabitant, each home, each tradition is a verse in this icy poetry, living proof that humanity is capable of flourishing in any corner of the planet, as long as there is connection, respect, and an unbreakable spirit. Beauty resides not only in the northern lights painting the night sky, but in the light that shines in the eyes of the people who have found warmth in unity, in ancestral wisdom, and in the ability to transform the impossible into everyday life. It's a story of wonder, a whisper of the icy wind that reminds us of the quiet strength that resides within each of us, our ability to adapt, to reinvent ourselves, and to find warmth, not just in fire, but in the human embrace. May this journey through Iceland inspire us to seek our own life, experiments, to find beauty in challenges, and to celebrate the deep and intrinsic connection we have with our world and with each other. For in the end, the true temperature of life is not measured in degrees Celsius, but in the intensity of our spirit. Because in the end, the true temperature of life is not measured in degrees Celsius, but in the intensity of our spirit. And to delve even deeper into this intensity, we'll unveil the 5 crazy experiments at minus 10 degrees Celsius that not only define Icelandic resilience, but also provoke us to rethink the limits of human adaptation. They are living testaments to how ingenuity and connection can flourish, even in the planet's coldest embrace, transforming adversity into a fascinating routine. More than just a sweater, the Loka Pesa is a masterpiece of natural and cultural engineering, one of Iceland's first experiments against the cold. Its wool comes from Icelandic sheep, a unique breed that developed a double coat over centuries of isolation. The inner layer is soft and insulating, while the outer layer is longer and water repellent. This combination gives the lopapesa an unparalleled ability to retain heat even when wet and to allow the skin to breathe, preventing overheating during physical activity. Each sweater is hand-woven, and its distinctive patterns are not merely aesthetic. They carry stories, identify families and villages, and symbolize the resilience of a people. To wear a lopapesa is to engage in a living tradition, a constant reminder that the most effective solutions to the cold may be the most ancient. It is an experiment in trusting nature and the wisdom of the hands that weave protection. In an environment where the air freezes at minus 10 degrees Celsius, the idea of stripping down to dive into an outdoor pool may seem like the definition of madness. However, geothermal pools are the beating heart of Icelandic social life, a daily experiment in well-being. The water, heated by the Earth's volcanic depths, emerges at temperatures perfect for relaxation, creating oases of warmth amidst the icy landscape. The contrast between the warm steam emanating from the water and the icy air kissing the skin is a unique sensory experience, invigorating for both body and mind. In these spaces, social status dissolves with the steam, and everyone gathers to talk, laugh, and strengthen community bonds. It's a ritual that transcends mere hygiene. It's a collective therapy, a celebration of the Earth's abundance, and proof that human warmth and natural heat can create an unshakable refuge from winter. Food in Iceland is a culinary experiment in survival, where every ingredient and preparation method is optimized to withstand cold and scarcity. Fish, such as cod and salmon, is the foundation, rich in omega-3 south and proteins that provide lasting energy and help regulate body temperature. Lamb, raised freely on robust pastures, provides the fat necessary for internal insulation. But it is in the art of fermentation and curing that Icelandic ingenuity shines. Dishes like asterisk, hakarl asterisk, fermented shark, or asterisk shussagir, HTSPUNGAR asterisk, pickled lamb testicles, may shock foreign palates, but they are testaments to the historical need to preserve food in an environment where cultivation is limited. These delicacies, rich in nutrients and calories, are more than meals. They are time capsules, connecting Icelanders to their history of resilience and the ancestral wisdom of transforming what the land and sea offer into vital sustenance. Every bite is an act of resilience. One of Iceland's most surprising, and for many, crazy, experiments is the practice of leaving babies sleeping in strollers outside, even in temperatures that can drop to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Wrapped in layers of wool and warm blankets, the little ones sleep soundly, enjoying the fresh, invigorating air. For Icelanders, this isn't a negligence, but a deep-rooted tradition, based on the belief that fresh air strengthens babies' immune systems, improves sleep quality, and makes them more resilient. It's an act of profound trust in nature and in their children's ability to adapt, closely monitored but free to absorb their surroundings. This habit, which defies the norms of many other countries, is a testament to the intrinsic relationship Icelanders have with their climate, transforming what seems like a risk into a benefit, a parenting experiment that reflects an unwavering connection with the environment, even in the first months of life. In the depths of Icelandic winter, when the sun barely rises above the horizon for a few hours, and darkness dominates day and night, the experiment of keeping the spirit alight becomes an art. Lighting candles in the windows is more than a source of light. It is a gesture of welcome, a visual invitation of warmth to passers-by, a beacon of hope amidst the icy vastness. Cozy interiors filled with blankets, soft lights, and the scent of fresh coffee, asterisk, cafe asterisk, or homemade bread, are carefully cultivated to create an atmosphere of Icelandic asterisk HYGGE asterisk. This is a cultural and psychological experiment, how to combat the melancholy of prolonged darkness, and nurture intimacy and joy within the home. It is proof that, even when nature imposes its darkest challenge, humanity finds ways to generate its own light, its own warmth, through small rituals and the appreciation of conviviality. It's a powerful reminder that resilience isn't just about surviving physically, but about keeping the flame of the soul burning, even when the outside world is frozen. After immersing ourselves in these crazy experiments, the woolen armor that envelops us, the warmth of the waters that embrace us, the diet that sustains us, the cradle that defies convention, and the light that guides us in the darkness, we realize that Iceland is more than a collection of frozen landscapes. It is a living laboratory where every day, with every gesture, humanity redefines what it means to thrive in an environment that demands everything of itself. These are not just isolated examples of survival. They are profound manifestations of a philosophy of life, woven into the very fiber of Icelandic existence. They teach us that true innovation often resides not in futuristic technologies, but in the accumulated wisdom of generations, in the ability to observe, adapt, and honor the resources the earth offers. Lopa Pesa, for example, is not just a sweater. It is the story of a sheep, a people, and a climate, woven into every thread, a testament to the fact that nature already offers us the most effective tools if we know how to listen to it. Geothermal pools, in turn, are proof that the most comforting heat can come from where we least expect it, from deep within the earth, and that it becomes even more powerful when shared in community, dissolving the barriers of cold and loneliness. The diet, seemingly exotic to some, is a celebration of the ancestral intelligence of transforming challenges into sustenance, each dish a lesson in respect and gratitude. And the audacity of letting babies sleep outdoors? It's a silent cry of trust in life, in the innate resilience of human beings, and in the belief that connection with nature, from the earliest days, forges an indomitable spirit. Finally, the art of illuminating winter, with its candles and warmth, is a poetic reminder that the most vital light comes not from the sun, but from the flame we cultivate in our hearts and homes. Iceland, therefore, is not just a destination for adventurers or a stage for spectacular natural phenomena. It is a school of life, where the minus 10 degrees Celsius cold becomes the most demanding teacher, but also the most inspiring. It forces creativity, collaboration, and the appreciation of what truly matters: community, culture, and an unwavering connection with the environment. Each experiment we witness is a parable about our own existence, the challenges we face, and the solutions we can find when we look within and at those around us. Here, resilience is not an abstract quality. It is a way of being, a shared smile under the northern lights, the warmth of one hand in another amidst a blizzard. It is the certainty that even when the outside world seems relentless, there is always a source of warmth, be it geothermal, cultural, or human, ready to embrace us. The strength of these people lies in their ability to not only survive, but to flourish in a setting many would consider hostile, transforming adversity into a canvas for the most beautiful of arts, the art of living. It's an inspiration to all of us, wherever we are. How often do we feel overwhelmed by the winters of our own lives, whether personal, professional, or social? Iceland whispers to us that the answers lie not in fighting the storm, but in learning to dance with it, in finding beauty in contrasts, strength in vulnerability, and warmth in togetherness. It invites us to rethink our own relationship with the environment, with community, and with daily challenges, showing that the answer often lies in simplicity, tradition, and collective strength. For in the end, the true temperature of life is not measured in degrees Celsius, but in the intensity of our spirit, in the flame we keep burning in our hearts, even when the world outside is frozen. May the story of Iceland and its 5 crazy experiments at minus 10 degrees Celsius serve as a beacon, illuminating the path to our own resilience, reminding us that we are capable of creating warmth and beauty wherever life takes us. May we take a little of this Icelandic spirit with us to warm our own winters and celebrate the incredible human capacity to adapt, to love, and to find meaning in every breath, in every snowflake that falls. Iceland is not a place to escape the cold, but a place to discover the inexhaustible warmth that resides in the human soul. This inner flame, which ignites the Icelandic soul, also manifests itself in the way its people dance in sync with the relentless rhythms of nature. Life in Iceland is a symphony of extreme cycles, where the midnight sun of summer gives way to the long months of near total darkness of winter. This cosmic cadence is not a mere backdrop. It permeates every fiber of existence, shaping work, leisure, and even emotional well-being. During summer, there is an explosion of activity, a race against time to harness the abundant light for fishing, farming in geothermal greenhouses, and construction. It is a period of energy accumulation, almost an instinctive preparation for what is to come. With the arrival of winter, the pace slows, but does not stop. The hours of daylight, which can be reduced to a pale twilight, are cherished to the fullest. Work routines adjust, and the focus turns inward to the warmth of home, family life, and the arts. Winter festivals, with their lights and celebrations, are not just social events. They are essential rituals of psychological resilience, milestones that break the monotony of darkness and inject hope for the return of light. Sleep and wakefulness are redefined, and the connection with the body and its own internal cycles becomes more acute. It is an experiment in patience and introspection, where life bends to the breathing of the planet, finding purpose and beauty in each phase. The ability to honor these rhythms, to flow with them rather than fight against them, is further proof of the profound Icelandic wisdom of how to live, not just survive, in an environment of extremes. They teach us that adaptation is not only physical, but also temporal, a harmony with time itself. However, even this ancient dance with natural cycles is not immune to the turbulent currents of modernity. Iceland, despite its geographic isolation, is deeply connected to the world through globalization and technology. And it is in this encounter of the old and the new that the most complex challenges arise, but also new opportunities for resilience. The ease of importing food and manufactured goods, for example, can threaten self-sufficiency and traditional knowledge of how to live from the land and sea. The migration of young people to the few larger urban areas in search of opportunities can empty rural communities, taking with them the wisdom of generations. The proliferation of smartphones and social media, while connecting Icelanders to each other and the rest of the planet, also places a strain on oral traditions, saga-telling nights, and the contemplative silence that has always characterized winter. The explosion of tourism, which has brought unprecedented economic prosperity, also demands a conscious effort to protect the fragility of ecosystems and the authenticity of local culture from being diluted. The challenge is not to reject modernity, but to integrate it wisely. Icelanders, with their innate ingenuity, seek a balance. They use technology to innovate. Think of the geothermal energy that powers high-tech data centers, or the communication networks that connect remote villages. But at the same time, they reinforce the teaching of the Icelandic language, fervently celebrate their ancient festivals, and cultivate a deep respect for nature. It's an ongoing experiment in cultural identity. How to be global without ceasing to be Icelandic. How to embrace progress without losing connection to the roots that forged its resilience. The answer lies in the ability to discern, to choose what serves and what threatens, to innovate without forgetting. They show us that true strength lies not in blind resistance to change, but in intelligent adaptation, in valuing heritage, and in building a future that honors the past. Iceland thus becomes a living laboratory for how to maintain the soul of a vibrant nation amid the vertigo of the 21st century, proving that tradition, when properly understood, is not a burden, but a beacon that illuminates the path of evolution. It is in this delicate balance between past and present, between ancestral heritage and necessary innovation, that Iceland offers its most profound lessons in resilience. The dignity of its people lies not in denying hardships, but in fully embracing them, in the courage to view the cold not as an enemy to be vanquished, but as a master to be understood. The wisdom that emanates from each practice, from each experiment we witness, is that true strength is not found in dominating nature, but in harmony with it. It is the lesson that isolation can forge a more united community, that scarcity can inspire creativity, and that challenge can be the catalyst for a deeper connection with the land and with one another. Icelanders teach us that resilience is not an innate characteristic of some, but a cultivated capacity, a daily choice to persist, to adapt, to find beauty and purpose even in the most arid conditions. They demonstrate that true wealth lies not in material accumulation, but in the richness of spirit, in the ability to find warmth in the embrace of a lapapesa, in the steam of a geothermal pool, in the taste of a shared meal, or in the flickering light of a candle on a dark night. These are universal values that resonate far beyond Iceland's icy landscapes, inviting us to reflect on how we ourselves face our own winters, be they personal, social, or environmental challenges. The way these people remain true to their roots, even as they embrace the future, is a testament to the fact that cultural identity is an unshakable pillar of strength and continuity. And it is in this tapestry of wisdom and dignity that the most intimate gestures are woven, the small acts that reveal the soul of a people. They are not just great feats of engineering or adaptation, but the delicacy of everyday life. It is the way a neighbor offers help without being asked, the respectful silence that accompanies a walk in the snow, the care with which a pluckfisker is prepared to warm the family. It is these rituals, almost imperceptible to the hurried eye, that solidify the humanity and care intrinsic to Icelandic culture. The sharing of stories and sagas around a fireplace, the celebration of small moments of light during the long winter, the hand extended in solidarity, these are the true experiments of human connection, which transform a challenging environment into a welcoming home. They remind us that resilience is not just about physical strength, but about the strength of spirit, affection, and community that is built and maintained day after day against all adversity. It is proof that the most lasting warmth comes from within, from the bond that unites people. Thus, Iceland presents itself not only as a destination of dramatic landscapes and spectacular natural phenomena, it emerges as a mirror, reflecting the essence of the human condition. It is an invitation to look beyond the icy surface and discover the flame that burns in the hearts of its people. Every snowflake that falls, every vapor that rises from the volcanic earth, every laugh that echoes in a geothermal pool is a testament to the fact that life, in its most vibrant and stubborn form, finds a way. Iceland's beauty lies not only in its northern lights that paint the night sky, but in the light that shines in the eyes of a people who have chosen not only to survive, but to flourish, transforming challenge into an art form, adversity into ingenuity, and isolation into profound connection. May this journey through 5 crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius serve not only as an exploration of a distant place, but as an introspection. May it inspire us to seek our own experiments of resilience in our daily lives, to find beauty in contrasts, strength in vulnerability, and warmth in togetherness. Iceland's story is a whisper of the icy wind that reminds us of the silent strength that resides within each of us, our ability to adapt, to reinvent ourselves, and to find warmth not only in fire, but in the human embrace. For in the end, the true temperature of life is not measured in degrees Celsius, but in the intensity of our spirit, in the flame we keep burning in our hearts, even when the world outside is frozen. May we take a little of this Icelandic spirit with us to warm our own winters and celebrate the incredible human capacity to adapt, to love, and to find meaning in every breath, in every snowflake that falls. Iceland is not a place to escape the cold, but a place to discover the inexhaustible warmth that resides in the human soul. This inexhaustible warmth, so well exemplified by Icelanders, is not a flame lit by chance. It is the result of millennia of forging, where every icy breeze and endless night acted as hammer and anvil, shaping a collective spirit that refuses to be extinguished. It is a powerful reminder that the true wealth of a people is not measured in gold or power, but in the depth of their connection, the resilience of their culture, and the ingenuity of their soul. Iceland, with its 5 crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius, offers us not only a glimpse into life in extreme conditions, it presents us with a survival manual, not just physical, but existential. Consider Lopapesa, for example. It's more than a sweater. It's a woolen embrace that reminds us of interdependence. Each thread, each pattern, is a link to the earth, to the sheep grazing on the windswept slopes, and to the hands that wove the shelter. It's an experiment in warmth that transcends temperature, warming the soul with the awareness that we are part of something greater, a web of life that sustains and protects us. And the geothermal pools? They are the very beating heart of Iceland, an invitation to immerse ourselves in the essence of community. There, beneath a sky that often dances with the aurora, people gather, not just to warm their bodies, but to nourish their souls with conversation, laughter, and shared silence. It's an experiment in communion, where the barrier of cold dissolves in the warm water, revealing the beauty of vulnerability and human connection. The diet, in turn, with its robust flavors and ingredients harvested from land and sea, is a celebratory ode to ancient wisdom. It's a reminder that sustenance isn't just calories, but history, tradition, and a deep respect for the limited resources nature offers. Each dish is an experiment in gratitude, a celebration of life that persists and thrives, even when the ground is frozen and the sea is stormy. And the audacity of leaving babies sleeping outdoors, nestled in their strollers in the frigid air, it's an act of radical trust in the force of life, a silent declaration that nature, however relentless it may seem, is also an ally, forging resilience from the earliest days. It's an experiment in faith, in the innate human capacity to adapt and flourish, defying convention in the name of a deeper connection with the natural world. Finally, the art of illuminating winter, with its candles, lanterns, and the cozy warmth of homes, is a testament to our unwavering need for light, not just physical but spiritual. Amidst the prolonged darkness, Icelanders create their own inner suns, cultivating high, that sense of warmth and well-being that transcends the weather. It is an experiment in hope, where the most vital light comes not from the firmament, but from the flame we cultivate in our hearts and share in our homes, a beacon against the winter melancholy. Each of these experiments is a facet of the same universal truth. Human strength lies in our ability to transform what seems like adversity into an opportunity for creativity, connection, and the celebration of life. They invite us to look at our own challenges, our personal, professional, or social winters, not as insurmountable obstacles, but as fertile ground for innovation and growth. Iceland whispers to us that the answers lie not in fighting the storm, but in learning to dance with it, in finding beauty in contrasts, strength in vulnerability, and warmth in unity. It invites us to rethink our own relationship with the environment, with community, and with daily challenges, showing that the answer often lies in simplicity, tradition, and collective strength. Resilience, after all, is not impenetrable armor, but the flexibility of a reed that bends in the wind but never breaks, always returning to its shape, stronger than before. In this land of ice and fire, where extremes meet and life insists on flourishing, we learn that adaptation is an art, and survival a poetry. Iceland is a vivid reminder that humanity is capable of reinventing itself, of finding beauty in hardship, and of forging unbreakable bonds of community in the face of any adversity. It is an inspiration to us all, an invitation to ignite our own inner flame and discover the warmth that resides in our capacity to love, create, and connect, no matter how frigid the world may seem outside. May the story of these people and their 5 crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius resonate in our hearts as an echo of our own strength, our own ability to transform cold into warmth, darkness into light, and challenge into a journey of discovery. It is a celebration of life in its purest and most untamed form. This indomitable spirit is not merely a reaction to the cold. It is a philosophy of life, an art of existence that manifests itself not only in grand adaptations, but in small daily gestures, in the way light is woven into the darkness and warmth is cultivated in the heart of winter. It is an ongoing experiment in optimism and psychological resilience, where the mind becomes as robust as the body, capable of finding beauty and purpose even in the harshest conditions. In Iceland, the battle against the elements is also an internal battle. The long, dark winters, with their few hours of pale light, could easily lead to melancholy and isolation. But the Icelandic people, over generations, have developed a remarkable ability to find light where there is darkness and warmth where there is cold. They transform the interiors of their homes into sanctuaries of warmth, where the soft light of candles, the aroma of a warm stew, and the presence of loved ones create a shield against the outside world. It's not an escape, but a conscious celebration of comfort, a deliberate cultivation of Icelandic *hide*, a term that, while not native to their language, perfectly describes the atmosphere of well-being, security, and belonging they create, radiating from the heart of the home. This mental resilience is also deeply rooted in the rich tapestry of its history and sagas. On seemingly endless winter nights, when storms howl outside and the aurora borealis paints the sky with ghostly colors, stories come to life. The Icelandic sagas, filled with heroes, epic challenges, and an unshakable connection to the land, are not just ancient tales. They are survival manuals, repositories of ancient wisdom. They teach about perseverance in the face of adversity, the importance of community, and the dignity of the human spirit. Sitting around the hearth, listening to the voice of a storyteller, is a ritual that nourishes the soul, connecting the present to the past and reinforcing the cultural identity that sustains them. It is an experiment in memory and imagination, illuminating the darkest corners of the mind and strengthening the spirit. Solidarity is another unshakable pillar of this mental fortitude. No one faces winter alone in Iceland. Community is an extension of family, and mutual support is as vital as warm clothing and plentiful food. Small acts of kindness, a neighbor who shovels snow from your sidewalk without being asked, a hot cup of coffee offered without ceremony, an invitation to share a meal, are the glue that holds society together. This interdependence is not seen as a weakness, but as the most profound of strengths. In an environment where nature can be unforgiving, trust in others is a luxury that has become a necessity and a fundamental value that is passed down from generation to generation. It is an experiment in empathy and cooperation, which transforms geographical isolation into an opportunity for stronger and more meaningful human bonds. These psychological and social dimensions of Icelandic life reveal that the crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius go far beyond physics and biology. They are experiments in the art of living and the ability to find joy and purpose even in the most challenging conditions. They teach us that resilience is not just about enduring, but about flourishing, not about resisting change, but about adapting to it wisely, and not about fighting the environment, but about finding a harmonious dance with it. Iceland becomes a laboratory for how the human mind, nourished by culture, history, and community, can overcome the limits imposed by the outside world, transforming them into catalysts for growth. The beauty of this adaptation lies not only in overcoming, but in transformation. The extreme cold, which for many would be an insurmountable obstacle, is for Icelanders a catalyst for creativity and innovation. Long nights are not empty, but filled with the light of ideas and invention. The scarcity of natural resources, aside from geothermal energy and abundant fishing, has spurred ingenuity in using whatever is available. Necessity has become the mother of a vibrant culture, where art, music, and literature flourish with an intensity that contrasts vividly with the icy landscape. It is an inspiring paradox. An environment that could freeze the spirit actually ignites it with a passion for life and human expression. It is living proof that the human spirit is infinitely adaptable, and that true strength lies not in the absence of challenges, but in how we embrace them and transform them into opportunities. Icelanders show us that life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to dance in the rain, or, in this case, to find warmth and light in the heart of the blizzard. They invite us to look at our own winters, whether personal, professional, or social, not as times of stagnation, but as periods of introspection, renewal, and strengthening the bonds that unite us. Iceland, with its dramatic landscape and resilient people, is a beacon illuminating the path to a fuller, more connected, and, paradoxically, warmer existence, revealing that the greatest source of warmth is within us and among us. However, this inexhaustible warmth, this source that flows from the human spirit in communal unity, is not immune to the currents of the modern world. Even in Iceland, a land of geographic isolation and ancient traditions, the breeze of globalization blows, bringing with it new challenges and the temptation to move away from experiments forged in the harshness of time. The ease of access to imported products, the ubiquity of technology, and the lure of distant cultures can subtly erode the foundation of a way of life built on self-sufficiency and a deep connection with the local environment. Suddenly, the need to weave a lopapesa from Icelandic sheep's wool may seem less urgent when you can buy a synthetic coat with a click. The ritual of sharing stories around the fire can compete with the mesmerizing glow of digital screens. The ancient wisdom of harvesting and preparing traditional foods can be overshadowed by the convenience of processed foods. It's not a surrender, but a delicate ballet between preserving what's essential and integrating what's new without losing the soul. The challenge of modernity isn't just external. It nestles in daily choices, in the balance between immediate comfort and the enduring value of tradition. It is at this inflection point that Icelandic resilience reveals itself in a new dimension, that of conscious preservation. It's not about rejecting progress, but about filtering it, adapting it at one's own pace, ensuring that the cultural essence remains intact. There is a palpable effort to keep the language, Icelandic, alive, with its poetic richness and its connection to the sagas. Schools and cultural institutions are dedicated to transmitting to new generations not only the knowledge, but also the asterisk of these ancestral practices. Traditional cuisine is celebrated and reinvented, not as a relic, but as a living expression of identity and health. The experiments of adaptation never stop. They evolve, demonstrating that tradition is not static, but a flowing river, absorbing new tributaries without losing its original course. Iceland teaches us that true progress lies not in abandoning the past, but in understanding it and integrating it into the future. That technology can be a tool to amplify culture, not silence it. That globalization can be a bridge to share wisdom, not a tide that erases it. The ability to discern, to choose what nourishes and what wears away, is the most sophisticated of adaptations, an experiment in wisdom that transcends cold and time. It is the choice not to become a mere reflection of the outside world, but to maintain an identity forged in volcanic fire and ancient ice. Thus, the struggle against extreme cold becomes a metaphor for the struggle against the depersonalization that modern life can bring. Icelanders, with their gentle stubbornness and deep connection to the land and each other, show that it is possible to build a vibrant future without forgetting the roots that sustain us. Their practices, their rituals, their crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius become a beacon not only for survival in a hostile climate, but for the survival of the human soul in a world that often invites us to forget who we are and where we come from. The lesson is clear. Strength lies not in resisting change, but in shaping it, in infusing it with the wisdom of generations, keeping the flame burning. And it is in this flame that Iceland's true magic resides, a magic that transcends the stunning beauty of its landscapes. It is the magic of a people who, against all odds, chose life, community, and culture as their greatest treasures. Who decided that warmth is not just a physical sensation, but a social construct, an act of will? Who understood that resilience is not impenetrable armor, but the flexibility of a reed that bends in the wind but never breaks, always returning to its shape, stronger than before, enriched by the storms it has weathered. In this landscape of contrasts, Iceland is not just a place. It is an invitation to introspection, a mirror that reflects our own struggles and our innate capacity to find solutions, create beauty, and forge unbreakable bonds. It reminds us that each of us, in our own personal and collective winters, possesses the same inner flame, the same capacity for adaptation, that the search for warmth, light, and connection is a universal journey, and that the answers often lie in the simplicities of life, in the traditions that connect us to the past, and in the community that projects us into the future. Iceland, at its core, is a testament to the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. In this landscape of contrasts, Iceland is not just a place. It is an invitation to introspection, a mirror that reflects our own struggles and our innate capacity to find solutions, create beauty, and forge unbreakable bonds. It reminds us that each of us, in our own personal and collective winters, possesses the same inner flame, the same capacity for adaptation, that the search for warmth, light, and connection is a universal journey, and that the answers often lie in the simplicities of life, in the traditions that connect us to the past, and in the community that projects us into the future. Iceland, at its core, is a testament to the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. The lessons that emanate from Iceland far transcend mere survival. They delve into the very art of living, revealing an ancient wisdom that remains vital even in the face of the most dizzying advances. What Icelanders teach us, with their dignity and gentle stubbornness, is that true strength lies not in mastering nature, but in dancing with it, not in ignoring the cold, but in transforming it into a catalyst for creativity and warmth. It is a philosophy that celebrates interdependence, where each person, each practice, and each landscape are intrinsically linked, forming a mutually sustaining web of life. They show us that resilience is not the absence of pain or hardship, but the ability to find purpose and beauty within them. It is in the prolonged darkness of winter that the need to light a candle becomes an act of hope, and the icy silence, an invitation to listen to the stories that warm the soul. The connection with the earth, with its volcanoes and hot springs, is not merely utilitarian. It is a relationship of deep respect, an understanding that we are part of a larger ecosystem, and that our well-being is inseparably linked to the well-being of our environment. This holistic perspective is a powerful antidote to the fragmentation and isolation that often characterize modern life. Iceland, with its 5 crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius, invites us to reevaluate what truly matters. It questions our relentless pursuit of speed and convenience, and reminds us of the immeasurable value of patience, tradition, and community. Each of its experiments, whether in the form of a garment that embraces, a meal that nurtures history, a space that welcomes, a ritual that strengthens faith, or a light that overcomes darkness, is an invitation to look at our own challenges with new eyes. It's a reminder that the most profound solutions often lie not in the most advanced technologies, but in the simplest, most human truths. The Icelandic people, with their ability to forge warmth in the heart of ice, offer us a manual for life. A manual that celebrates the ability to find joy in the little things, to cultivate intimacy in relationships, and to transform what seems like a limitation into an inexhaustible source of strength and inspiration. Their lives are a poem about the human capacity to flourish, even when the odds seem overwhelming, and to build a world warmed by unity and wisdom. This wisdom manifests itself not only in great deeds, but in every daily gesture, in every habit that weaves the rich tapestry of their existence. And it is precisely in these details that the Icelandic soul reveals itself most intimately. It is not only the grand spectacle of nature, but the daily ritual of wrapping one's hands around a steaming mug of coffee, feeling the warmth spread, It is the conscious choice to light a candle at dusk, transforming the darkness into an invitation to reflection and the sharing of whispers. It is the comfort of a woolen blanket, woven with stories and memories, embracing body and soul against the cold outside. It is these small gestures, charged with intention and affection, that paint the picture of a humanity that finds in mutual care and the celebration of the present the most potent defense against the harshness of the world. Each of these simple acts is a thread that weaves the tapestry of life, a constant reminder that true warmth resides in connection. And it is precisely in these details that the Icelandic soul reveals itself most intimately. It is not only the grand spectacle of nature, but the daily ritual of wrapping one's hands around a steaming mug of coffee, feeling the warmth spread. It is the conscious choice to light a candle at dusk, transforming the darkness into an invitation to reflection and the sharing of whispers. It is the comfort of a woolen blanket, woven with stories and memories, embracing body and soul against the cold outside. It is these small gestures, charged with intention and affection, that paint the picture of a humanity that finds in mutual care and the celebration of the present the most potent defense against the harshness of the world. Each of these simple acts is a thread that weaves the tapestry of life, a constant reminder that true warmth resides in connection. Therefore, Iceland, with its 5 crazy experiments at -10 degrees Celsius, is not just a study in how to survive extreme cold. It is a parable about life. It teaches us that resilience is not an isolated quality, but a complex dance between body, mind, culture, and community. The challenges posed by ice and wind have been transformed into catalysts for profound creativity, unwavering solidarity, and an almost mystical connection with the land. Modernity, which threatens to dilute traditions in so many other places, is here met with discernment, integrated without extinguishing the ancestral flame. The conflict between man and nature is resolved not by domination, but by harmony, by the understanding that we are part of a greater whole. Ultimately, Iceland's story is the story of a people who chose to flourish, not despite the cold, but because of it. They show us that true strength lies not in fighting adversity, but in embracing it, in transforming it into art, into culture, into a way of being that radiates warmth and light. They are living proof that, even in the most inhospitable conditions, the human spirit is capable of finding joy, purpose, and stunning beauty. With every breath of icy wind, with every aurora borealis that paints the sky, Iceland reaffirms its message. The most powerful warmth comes not from without, but from within, from our ability to connect, to adapt, and to dream together. And so, at the end of this icy and inspiring journey, we are invited to look back at our own winters. What are your challenges? Where can you find warmth, light, and connection? What crazy experiments can you undertake to transform adversity into a new form of resilience? Iceland leaves us with a profound sense of wonder and awe, a certainty that the flame of life is indomitable when fueled by wisdom, tradition, and human love. If this immersion into Icelandic resilience warmed your heart and sparked inspiration, give this video a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comments about touched you most, and subscribe to the Glacial Sleepy channel for more journeys that explore the incredible human capacity to transform the unthinkable into an art of living. Until the next adventure.